Welcome to 24H World News. The Ukrainian military has taken a significant step by deploying 9,000 highly trained troops into Russia's Kursk area, marking a major escalation in the ongoing confrontation. In a stunning display of military prowess, Ukrainian forces successfully captured 130 square kilometers and apprehended over 300 Russian soldiers. This operation dealt a devastating blow to the morale and strategic position of the Russian army. The situation took a sudden turn when Ramzan Kadyrov's elite Chechen troops, previously regarded as formidable fighters, faced defeat at the hands of the Ukrainian army. Instead of holding their ground, these soldiers were compelled to relinquish their weapons and depart, leaving behind a battlefield strewn with the remnants of what was once considered one of Russia's most formidable combat units. What led to this catastrophic result for the Russian army, and how did it change the trajectory of the war? Now, we'll delve into the details and analyze the extensive impact of this operation. The ongoing cross-border operation in Sumy Oblast is advancing steadily, with the Ukrainian army covering a distance of 7 to 10 kilometers each day. The Russian defense lines have suffered severe damage, leading to substantial casualties for Chechen troops, especially those backed by the Kremlin. Throughout the initial stages of the operation, the Chechen militants from the Akhmat unit faced immense pressure while battling against the relentless advance of Ukrainian troops. Reports indicate that around 15 soldiers of the Russian National Guard were injured in battles that took place in the Koronevsky region of Kursk Oblast. These confrontations revealed significant weaknesses in Russia's defensive strategy, along with the troops' inability to exhibit the anticipated level of resilience. In a statement, Opti Alaudinov, the commander of the Akhmat battalion, reported that Ukrainian forces had successfully entered Chechen-held areas without any combat taking place. This study highlights the challenges that the Russian military encounters in ensuring peak combat readiness within its military units. These forces are typically provided with inadequate training and sent out to fulfill support roles. Reports indicate that Chechen forces, renowned for their exceptional combat skills, have withdrawn from the area in response to the Ukrainian offensive. These concerns arise from the morale and combat performance of these auxiliary units within the Russian military organization. It seems that the Chechen troops face difficulties when faced with a determined and well-prepared Ukrainian force, possibly due to the unpredictable nature of the situation. Given the current situation, it seems that Russia is placing a strong emphasis on air power, particularly the VKS, due to the limited presence of ground forces. The heavy dependence on air power in this situation highlights a significant disparity in Russia's military capabilities in the region, potentially leaving ground soldiers without the necessary support. As per the report from Russian war correspondent Yuri Kotonok, Akhmat soldiers are currently deployed in active battle zones across Kursk Oblast. The conflicting reports are causing concerns about the Chechen troops' ability to effectively carry out operations and the current state of affairs on the ground. Ukraine's success in the Kursk operation has greatly influenced the mindset of Russia's military leadership and the general public. The unexpected withdrawal of Kadyrov's elite Chechen troops left the Russian military leadership feeling demoralized and uncertain. Due to these failures, there is a possibility that the Russian public might start losing faith in the Kremlin, which could weaken the domestic political strength of the Putin administration. Nevertheless, achieving success in Ukraine can greatly uplift public spirits and offer greater motivation to persevere in the ongoing conflict. As the defensive lines of Russia crumbled under Ukraine's swift and devastating assault, the morale of the Russian army took a serious blow with the retreat of Kadyrov's elite Chechen forces, who relinquished their weapons. The Ukrainian offensive resulted in the seizure of 130 square kilometers of territory, delivering a significant blow to the defensive capabilities of the Russian army. This might cause Russian military leaders to reassess their strategic objectives. What's the latest update from the field? Yesterday evening, Ukraine successfully secured control of the Lvov-Belgorod railway line, a crucial strategic position that directly impacts the supply line of Russia's northern soldiers to Kharkov. Land use has consistently held a crucial position in Ukraine's history, particularly in defense strategy, especially during counterattacks. In 2022, significant progress was achieved in the Kharkiv and Kherson regions. The strategy remains unchanged. They utilized the Snagost River on their left to facilitate their forward movement. As the Ukrainians push forward, the Psel River lies on their right side. A different river, the Leshnya River, flows through the heart of the Ukrainian advance. Ukraine has effectively utilized its abundant rivers to its advantage, efficiently closing significant gaps in its operations. We have a considerable distance remaining between the frontline positions on the right flank and the Psel River. It is probable that they will have the Psel River on their right flank. To the right flank, the Psel River runs from the Russian settlement of Sudza all the way to the Ukrainian border. If Ukraine gains control of this territory, future evacuation efforts will encounter significant obstacles. Ukraine's natural barrier eliminates the necessity for extensive defenses to protect its positions. Once Ukrainian forces reach the banks of these rivers, they will dutifully stay within their borders and continue their determined push towards the coast. However, it seems that they are well prepared, and the absence of a Russian response so far gives Ukrainian Commander-in-Chief Syrsky several options to consider. Is there a possibility of Ukraine attempting to seize control of the nuclear power plant? Implementing this strategy would result in Ukrainian troops straying too far from their boundaries, compromising their security and forfeiting the strategic advantage provided by the terrain. Seizing the plant has more disadvantages than benefits, making it an unnecessary course of action. Ukraine executes a strategic maneuver towards Kursk Oblast with the objective of securing control over a gas metering station. This narrative is backed by a significant group of Russian military bloggers. If there is any disruption in the flow of Russian gas through Ukraine, rest assured that the responsible party will be swiftly identified. It would be best for Ukraine to avoid further complicating matters by interrupting gas supply. They stumbled upon the gas metering station during their journey and swiftly assumed command of the situation, ensuring that the gas supply remained uninterrupted. As per a report by the Institute for the Study of War, Ukrainian armored vehicles made significant progress by advancing approximately 6 miles into Russian territory. This advancement was made possible through the use of geolocated imagery. This development highlights the successful capture of a significant territory by Ukrainian forces, which includes 11 strategically important villages. Ukrainian soldiers are currently navigating the Sudza-Koronovo highway, a vital logistical route. Currently, there is a fierce battle taking place on the outskirts of these two communities. Based on a map provided by ISW, it appears that approximately 40 Russian prisoners of war have been captured near Sudza. Troops from Chechen's 71st Motorized Rifle Regiment have been deployed to the strategically vital Sudzhensky area. Russia's recent actions indicate a strategic effort to regain control of the area and halt the progress of Ukrainian forces. As per Kostyantin Mashovets, a Ukrainian military observer, the deployment possesses the potential to alter the power dynamics in the war zone. Agentstvo, an independent Russian news organization, has also developed its own map that closely resembles ISW's. Ukrainian soldiers have made significant progress, covering an impressive 350 square kilometers. This is comparable to the size of cities such as Philadelphia and Atlanta. The current situation on the ground has compelled Russian forces to strategically relocate their reserves to other front lines, specifically in the Donetsk region. Reports from Russian media and Telegram channels indicate that the Russian army has initiated troop redeployment from Belgorod and Donetsk to the Kursk region. A series of videos were released by Russian official agencies showcasing the strategic movement of a column of military equipment towards the Sudza region. The ongoing conflict in the neighborhood has been persisting for several days. As per a report from a Russian military correspondent, The convoy advancing from the Belgorod region included temporary fire support vehicles based on MTLB and 152mm Meste S howitzers. In addition, the Piatnashka Brigade from Russia, which has previously been engaged in combat near Chasiv Yar in the Donetsk region, has announced its presence in the Kursk region. According to reports from Russian media sources, more military convoys have been sent to the Kursk region to deal with the situation in Sudzha. Regrettably, not all of them were able to achieve their objective. Earlier today, a video surfaced on multiple Russian Telegram channels showcasing a convoy that had been completely decimated in the Rilsk region. The convoy was primarily composed of vehicles transporting soldiers. The footage displayed a significant number of deceased individuals of Russian ethnicity, along with vehicles that had been set ablaze. Unofficial reports suggest that there were significant casualties among the Russian troops, possibly resulting in the loss of nearly a battalion during this battle. According to multiple Russian combat correspondents, this has been seen as a significant defeat since the start of the Ukrainian occupation. Recent reports from Ukrainian military observers offer valuable insights into the strategic redeployment and retreat of Russian soldiers from current combat zones. As per the Telegram channel Nikolaevsky Vanyok, there are reports of the Russian army's evacuation from Kupiansk and the reallocation of its liberated military reserves to other fronts. As per military analyst Oleksandr Musienko, it has been reported that Russia has chosen not to deploy additional troops towards the New York-Toretsk direction. Instead, they are reallocating their forces to the Kursk region, a strategically vital area that is fiercely contested. This tactical adjustment is intended to enhance Russia's capacity to swiftly counter Ukrainian offensives in the Kursk region. Musienko suggests that Russia's decision demonstrates their commitment to enhancing the effectiveness of their military arsenal. In light of the intensifying hostilities in the Kursk region and Ukraine's advancing forces, it is imperative for the Russian command to swiftly and effectively strengthen their defense lines in the area. This redeployment signifies changes in focus in Russia's regional defense strategy. The relocation of troops from the Kupiansk region to the Kursk front is seen as a major strategic move by Russia in response to Ukraine's cross-border operation. What impact could the realignment of Russian forces have on the front line? Oleksandr Musienko suggests that it is anticipated and a calculated move for Russia to bolster the Kursk region by deploying additional troops from other fronts. Musienko highlighted the importance of Ukraine's military operations in this area, which compelled Russia to redirect its defense resources elsewhere, thereby weakening its defensive positions in eastern Ukraine. As per the expert's analysis, Russia's strategic focus on the Kursk region alleviates military pressure on other fronts, enabling Ukrainian forces to enhance the defense of these territories and effectively plan counterattacks. Transferring Russian reserves to Kursk in order to bolster Ukraine's eastern defense eases the strain on the Donetsk region. This significantly diminishes Russia's offensive capabilities in the eastern region and provides a boost to Ukraine's defense. According to Musienko's analysis, the troop movements to the Kursk region indicate a concerning situation and pose significant tactical challenges for the Russian military. This could potentially provide Ukraine with a significant strategic advantage while simultaneously diminishing Russia's offensive capabilities. The Russian Defense Ministry and General Staff statements seem completely detached from reality, as if they are deliberately disregarding Ukraine's presence in the Kursk region. Musienko argues that the Russian leadership's statements fail to accurately represent the situation on the ground and deceive the Russian public. Based on reports from Russian media sources, it seems that the Russian officials' repeated claims of victory after the battle in the Kursk region might be an effort to downplay the actual severity of the situation on the ground. The repeated claims of success suggest a lack of confidence in Russia's ability to maintain control on the battlefield. Musienko thinks that Kadyrov's attempts to reassure the Russian public by promising good results in 2-3 days are overly optimistic and seem like an effort to conceal the current military setbacks. These statements could be aimed at downplaying the challenges on the ground and creating a misleading sense of assurance among the public. Meanwhile, according to Bloomberg, it has been reported that Russian Chief of General Staff Valery Gerasimov was aware of plans for an operation in the Kursk region, but chose to ignore or downplay the information. This highlights a grave crisis in the leadership of the Russian military. According to Musienko's remarks, it seems that Gerasimov's actions reflect a potential lack of cohesion within the high command or a hesitancy to provide the Kremlin with potentially harmful material. This situation highlights significant challenges in the strategic decision-making processes of the Russian military, which adversely affect military operations in the field. Gerasimov's apparent lack of interest in this material could be attributed to his reluctance to comply with Putin's orders. Senior military officers may question their loyalty to Putin's policies, which could potentially undermine combat capabilities. However, Gerasimov's hesitance to convey unfavorable information to Putin highlights the existing communication and trust challenges between Russia's military and political leaders. Russia's military strategy and performance in the field could be affected by internal conflicts and leadership issues. This could enable Ukraine to gain a military edge and accomplish its strategic goals. The crisis in the Kursk region has significant implications for global security and the delicate equilibrium of power. These disputes have significant implications, impacting various aspects such as regional security and global economic balances. The crisis in Kursk has brought attention to the significance of NATO, specifically the support provided by the United States to Ukraine. The military and economic support provided by Western allies to Ukraine in response to Russia's expansionist ambitions has bolstered the country's defense capabilities, but it has also heightened tensions between Russia and the West. There are expectations of a heightened military presence by NATO along its eastern borders, which could lead to an extended period of tension in the region. Moscow's global standing has been negatively impacted by its military operations. In Kursk and Ukraine, this could potentially have a detrimental effect on Russia's relationships with neighboring nations, potentially leading to increased suspicion even among close allies like Belarus. Ukraine's recent progress in the Kursk region demonstrates its dedication to upholding territorial integrity. In addition, this achievement could potentially strengthen Kiev's position in future peace negotiations. This could potentially assist Ukraine in garnering international support and substantiating its territorial claims. The challenges faced by Russia in the Kursk region offer valuable insights into the intricacies and realities of contemporary warfare. These confrontations put military tactics and defense methods to the test, especially in the areas of hybrid warfare and electronic warfare, ultimately pushing for necessary adaptations. The battle has significantly heightened the dependence of both factions on military technologies. In future battles, the significance of drones, cyber warfare capabilities, and long-range missile systems is expected to grow. The intense combat in the Kursk region has placed significant pressure on the energy supply lines, which are of utmost importance for Europe. Enhancing energy security and supply could further efforts to reduce reliance on Russian gas. These disputes could potentially escalate global economic uncertainty, leading to fluctuations in global markets. The potential impact on wheat, corn, and other crucial agricultural commodities, particularly from Russia and Ukraine, could potentially jeopardize global food security. The Russian people were deeply affected by the military operation in Kursk. What is the current update on the Ukrainian fronts? The Donetsk front is currently experiencing intense and relentless battles. The defense lines in Ukraine have demonstrated their strength as Russian forces have made numerous unsuccessful attempts to infiltrate the area near Kostiantynivka. Amidst the conflict, an intense and massive mechanized assault unfolded. A major maneuver to the north of Kostiantynivka had a significant impact on the battlefield dynamics. Pobieda is a small settlement situated to the north of Kostiantynivka. Regrettably, it was taken by the Russians about a month ago. After conducting a thorough analysis of the situation, the Russian forces determined that their main objective should be to push forward beyond Pobieda. This strategy is designed to accelerate their advance towards the north, while simultaneously causing disruption to supply routes in Ukraine. If this strategy is executed effectively, Ukrainian soldiers stationed at Kostiantynivka will encounter significant pressure from multiple directions. At the same time, it will enable the Russians to safeguard their troops and equipment, preventing expensive direct assaults from Novomikhailivka. In the center of this offensive operation lies the tactical utilization of the nearby route connecting Marinka to Kostiantynivka, providing the Russians with a vital edge for swift mechanized assaults. The Ukrainian military faces significant challenges as they navigate through wooded regions and vineyards along their route. Based on reports from military sources, it has been observed that Russian forces are employing conventional artillery tactics to undermine their adversaries during the conflict with Ukrainian tanks in the vicinity of the vineyard. The defenders utilize them not only to halt the enemy's advance with their formidable artillery, but also to effectively synchronize counterattacks. A series of geolocated photographs provided by Russian authorities depict a distressing event in which a Ukrainian Leopard tank was deliberately attacked by an FPV drone in a densely wooded region, resulting in the ignition and subsequent detonation of the vehicle. After careful planning, the Russians initiated mechanized attacks from the town of Pobieda. The Russian strategy involved two crucial steps. First, the objective was to swiftly overpower the local defenders by deploying a formidable offensive force and swiftly seize control of the vineyard and surrounding fortifications. The first phase was crucial for establishing a presence in the region. In addition, their objective was to seize the opportunity and expand their territory to the southwest of Pobieda. The maneuver was aimed at bolstering their position against potential Ukrainian counterattacks, as the Russians worked on establishing a stronghold to the south of the village. By following these steps, the Russians aimed to establish a strong front line and minimize the risk of losing recently captured territory. The Ukrainian forces in charge of defending this section of the front line have recently shared a video showcasing their response to the initial phase of the Russian strategy. In the video, they capture their response to a full-on attack on the Marinka highway, utilizing a variety of armored vehicles. Once again, the film offers a comprehensive perspective on the Russians' formidable might in this operation, along with the impressive level of readiness displayed by the Ukrainian military. In the face of diminishing support and the looming threat of a potential Russian incursion, Ukrainian artillery and drone operators unleashed their full might upon enemy armored vehicles. Thank you for following us.